Ain't no loyalty left in this game. Not in the studio, not in the streets, and definitely not in the courtroom. Y'all, buckle up, because what just dropped might be the wildest reality TV plot twist since Will Smith slapped an Oscar. Forget love triangles. This one's got court files, betrayal, and a family feud so messy it makes Jerry Springer look like Sunday school. Picture this. A sealed court document explodes online like a leaked mixtape, and inside it, Stevie J, yes. That's Stevie J allegedly dragging Lil Scrappy's entire bloodline straight to legal hell. Mama D, Bambi, cousins. Even that one relative nobody invites to. Thanksgiving all allegedly exposed in black and white. The streets are saying this isn't just gossip, it's a financial crime. Soap opera with designer bags, burner phones, and maybe even a fake therapy session or two. So here's the question. Did Stevie J blow the whistle on Atlanta's royal reality family? Or is this another masterclass in petty revenge wrapped in legal paperwork? Either way, grab your popcorn, charge your phone, and lock in, because tonight we're unpacking the court leak that might end an empire. It all started with one leak that no one saw coming and everyone secretly hoped for. Because chaos is Atlanta's favorite currency. 1 minute, Stevie J was minding his business, posting vague quotes about truth setting you free, and the next, a sealed court file hit the internet like a bomb. Nobody knew where it came from, nobody wanted to admit they opened it, but everybody read it twice. The file wasn't just a random legal document. It was a full-blown expose dressed up as evidence, and the name stamped all over it was Lil Scrappy. According to those pages, Stevie J had stepped into a courtroom not to defend himself but to destroy a dynasty. He supposedly turned in a flash drive filled with messages, bank slips, and private recordings that painted Scrappy's family as the villains of their own reality show. Inside those so-called receipts were text messages hinting at hidden accounts, audio that sounded like whispered betrayals, and screenshots showing business deals Scrappy allegedly never approved. The whispers turned into roars when one clip, allegedly from a family dinner, caught a female voice saying he never checks the accounts. Don't worry. That one sentence flipped the internet upside down. Every blogger went live at once. Every fan turned detective. And every conspiracy theorist in the South had a new mission. Mama D, who usually speaks faster than a press release, went uncharacteristically silent. Only a few cryptic captions appeared on her Instagram, each more mysterious than the last, talking about loyalty, snakes, and lessons learned. People began connecting dots that probably weren't there, but the damage was done. The narrative had shifted, and Stevie J suddenly wasn't just a producer with drama. He was the self-declared whistleblower of reality. TV reports started circulating that he had walked into court and told the judge, on record, that Scrappy's inner circle had been using his fame to run a private financial circus. They had allegedly formed something called Royal Legacy Consulting, a name fancy enough to sound legit and vague enough to hide in plain sight. The company had invoices for fake events, luxury retreats, wellness seminars that never happened, yet money flowed through them like a broken faucet. And whose name was on the paperwork? Lil Scrappy's. It was the kind of accusation that could sink a career, a family, and a whole brand overnight. Fans exploded online, demanding answers that no one could give. Some said Stevie was lying for revenge. Others claimed he was the only one brave enough to expose the truth. Either way, the courtroom became the stage, and the players were all trapped in the spotlight. As the chaos grew, new rumors whispered that the flash drive had more folders, each one darker than the last, holding secrets too explosive for even VH1 to air. No one could confirm what was inside them. But everyone knew one thing for sure. The real storm hadn't even started yet. The morning after the leak, Atlanta felt different, like the whole city was holding its breath waiting for the next shoe to drop. Everywhere people gathered in barbershops, diners, and group chats, debating whether Stevie J was a hero or a snake in designer sneakers. Reporters called it a courtroom betrayal, while social media called it divine justice. And somewhere in between those two extremes was Lil Scrappy, silent as a ghost while his name burned across every trending page. What made this situation worse was that new so-called evidence began surfacing every hour, each detail wilder than the one before. An anonymous source claimed Stevie J had handed over not one, but 3 flash drives, each containing folders marked with dates that matched major filming seasons of Love and Hip Hop. Another insider swore there were recordings from behind the scenes where producers allegedly encouraged Scrappy's family to play up their chaos for ratings while secretly moving money around under fake contracts. Fans could not believe it, yet they wanted to believe it because the scandal was too entertaining to ignore. Bloggers started doing live breakdowns of Stevie J's alleged testimony, pausing every few seconds to shout that this was bigger than television. They said the leaked documents mentioned offshore accounts, secret investments, and even a property registered under Scrappy's name that he had never seen. According to the rumors, it was located in a quiet suburb outside of Atlanta and had been used to store luxury items purchased through the family's company. The plot was now too deep for even the most loyal fans to follow. Meanwhile, Mama D began posting Bible verses about judgment and redemption, which only fueled the fire further. People started calling her the Queen of Denial, while Bambi, who once dominated every headline, vanished completely from social media. Her silence was louder than any statement she could have made. Then came the twist that nobody expected. A name written in red ink at the bottom of one leaked page, the initials KF. The internet erupted with theories. Some said it stood for Kendra Foster, others claimed it was code for a VH1 executive. The mystery consumed the narrative. And suddenly, everyone wanted to know who KF was and what role they played in the alleged empire of deceit. A few hours later, another insider confirmed that KF was indeed Kendra Foster, a distant cousin and supposed church girl who worked quietly in production. The revelation hit like lightning, according to the circulating story. She was the silent accountant behind Royal Legacy Consulting, managing payments, forging invoices, and wiring money that didn't belong to her. The more people read, the more it felt like a full-blown movie plot. A family operation gone wrong with Stevie J standing in the middle, playing both detective and executioner. Nobody could tell if he was doing it for justice or revenge. But by that night, one thing was clear. The truth was only half out, and the next revelation was already loading by the next day. The story had spiraled completely out of control, and nobody knew what to believe anymore. News outlets that had ignored the drama at first were now running headlines about potential fraud and secret recordings, while fans dissected every line of every leaked document as if decoding a national conspiracy. The courthouse was surrounded by reporters, and even people who had nothing to do with the case started acting like experts on financial crimes. According to whispers from someone claiming to be close to the case, federal investigators were quietly reviewing the files to determine whether any laws had actually been broken, though no one could confirm if that was true. Meanwhile, Stevie J was living his best villain era, walking into interviews with sunglasses on and telling anyone who would listen that he was simply telling the truth the world refused to hear. In one viral clip, he said he was tired of fake loyalty and even more tired of fake therapy sessions. A statement that sent the internet into another frenzy as viewers rewatched old Love and Hip Hop episodes trying to find clues. Lil Scrappy, on the other hand, kept his silence, leaving fans to speculate whether he was embarrassed, heartbroken, or preparing his own counterattack. Some insiders hinted that he was considering legal action against members of his own family if the allegations about forged documents proved real. The thought of Scrappy taking his mother and relatives to court made this story even more surreal, turning a reality TV feud into something that felt almost Shakespearean. Mama D, still posting mysterious captions, wrote one line that broke the internet: Judas ate too. It was a sentence that everyone interpreted differently, some calling it confession, others calling it defiance. Meanwhile, Bambi resurfaced briefly to post a black screen with the words, "I told y'all," which reignited every rumor imaginable. As the speculation burned hotter, new reports surfaced claiming that VH1 executives were scrambling behind the scenes, afraid that the scandal might force them to cancel reruns or face lawsuits from angry cast members. Bloggers began predicting that the entire franchise could collapse if Stevie J released more evidence, while others suggested this was all an elaborate marketing ploy for a future docuseries. The truth, as always, sat somewhere in the fog. Stevie J teased that he still had exhibits GH and I ready to drop, promising that the next leak would change everything. Nobody knew whether to fear him or thank him. But one thing was undeniable. He had the world's attention. In the final hours before the next court date, fans flooded social media with theories, videos, and prayers, unsure whether they were watching justice unfold or another masterclass in manipulation. And as the cameras rolled outside that courthouse, everyone waited for the doors to open, knowing that whatever came next could either bury an empire or crown its newest king of chaos. So now you've heard it all. Or at least the part they've let us see. The question is, do you believe Stevie J is the truth teller pulling the mask off a corrupt empire? Or just another player flipping the script for fame and payback? Is Lil Scrappy really the victim of family betrayal? Or was he quietly part of a scheme that finally spun out of control? And what about Mama D and Bambi? Are they silent because they're guilty, or because they've learned that in this game, silence is the only real power left? The answers may never come from court documents or confession videos, but one thing is certain, this story is far from over. The next leak could drop tonight, tomorrow, or next week, and when it does, it will rewrite everything you think you know about loyalty, family, and fame. If you want the real tea before it hits the blogs, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in right here on BuzzVault. Because around here, nothing stays buried, every secret eventually leaks. And we'll be right here waiting to spill it first.